Versatile Mage. Chapter 34 The Little Loach Pendant. If you've got things to say, say it. Bai was bitter. He didn't want to look at Mo Fan for even a second. Unfortunately, Mo Fan was strange. For him to have something to ask Bai was unexpected. The two should have been irreconcilable. That guy named Yuang, is he in possession of a Stardust magic tool for all 365 days of the year? Mo Fan asked. Bai laughed coldly and said, originally, he was only allowed to use it for 3 to 4 months per year. But thanks to you, he is now permitted to use it for longer than half a year at a time. Mo Fan nodded and continued asking, I've already provoked the old scoundrel to this extent, yet he still doesn't give that guy called Yuang one for a whole year. Is it that the old scoundrel is too greedy, or is he just underestimating me? Do you think the Stardust magic tool is just a rock on the sidewalk, something you can find in abundance? The entire family has so many disciples, so the Stardust magic tool definitely has to be shared in turns. Within the family, only Ningzu has a spirit-grade Stardust magic tool which she keeps on at all times, Bai said, looking down on Mo Fan. Spirit-grade Stardust magic tool. The Stardust magic tools have different grades. Mo Fan asked in shock. He knew of the effects of the Stardust magic tool, but he wasn't aware that there were different grades. Bai looked at Mo Fan as though he was looking at an idiot. This fool knows nothing. Just how did he cultivate to S grade? Bai, proud of his knowledge, wanted to show off. So, while despising Mo Fan on one hand, he explained on the other, Stardust magic tools naturally have good and bad ones. The soul-nourishing magic tools that we normally encounter are basically all common grade. I reckon there are only a very few spirit grade ones in all of Bo City. What effects do the spirit grade ones have? Mo Fan continued asking. Common grade increases cultivation time by roughly 20% every day. Spirit grade increases cultivation time by 40%, Bai sneered. As he spoke about the spirit grade Stardust magic tools, Bai's entire being revealed his fascination. To people like him, who had only just taken their first step onto the road of cultivation, these spirit-grade Stardust magic tools were simply perfect. Possessing one would easily allow him to surpass his peers. I see. Mo Fan nodded. One that could reduce accumulated fatigue by 20% and one that could reduce it by 40%. Mo Fan could easily understand the difference. Don't get too ahead of yourself. The cultivation magic tool you obtained is yours for only 10 days. Whereas I will have mine for a whole month. I'll quickly surpass you by thousands of miles. Bai declared without hesitation, pouring cold water over Mo Fan. Mo Fan didn't mind. Quarreling with nobodies like Bai and Zhao Kunsen would simply lower his status. His real enemies were the inner disciples of the Mu family who possessed rich resources. He planned to surmount all difficulties, make that old scoundrel promise his daughter, and deliver her dowry right to him. Remember, the Stardust magic tools are very, very precious. You must not in any way damage them. Moreover, once the time is up, you must return them. I've already reminded you. This isn't something you can casually make trouble with. Zhu Musheng said sternly. Night fell, and the dormitory lights were turned off. Darkness covered the entire campus. On the roof of the school building, Mo Fan sat on top of a large water storage tank, playing with the Stardust magic tool he had received that day. The Stardust magic tool was a tiny, azure-colored dust stone set within a precious casing. One could tell how much the school valued it. The tool had been polished, with a white chain passing through it so cultivators could wear it like a pendant on their chest. Does it work as soon as I put it on? Mo Fan wondered aloud. Lowering his head, Mo Fan slowly put the Stardust magic tool on. Since the chain was a bit long, it ended up lying on his chest. Ding! Suddenly, an unfathomable tapping sound came from Mo Fan's chest. Mo Fan was stunned before realizing the cause. He was wearing another necklace, a loach-shaped pendant, pitch black in color. He remembered that on the day he awakened his element, This thing had vibrated incessantly. The Stardust magic tool must have bumped into his loach pendant, explaining the sound. Speaking of which, just what was this loach pendant? Mo Fan had tried researching it before, but he failed. He was convinced that the loach pendant was related to the changes in the world. The loach pendant was the legacy of the old gatekeeper of the school's back mountain, Old Man Ying. That day, Mo Fan had been wearing it while sleeping in the old man's thatched cottage when the whole world mysteriously changed. Or perhaps he had transmigrated into a different parallel world. He still wasn't sure which. Mo Fan always wore the loach pendant. He worried that removing it might cause everything to return to normal. And he wasn't about to lose lightning strike and flame burst after going through so much trouble to learn them. Forget it. Don't worry about that. I should focus on my cultivation. That guy Yuang won't be easy to deal with. And if that old scoundrel really is going to deliver his daughter to me, I'll need incredible power. Mo Fan thought. Putting down the loach pendant, Mo Fan used his intent to connect with the Stardust magic tool. Intent appeared when a magician's spiritual mind reached a formidable level. By focusing intent and locking onto something, one could perceive the peculiar fluctuations of magic ability, and one's senses of hearing, smell, sight, and touch would sharpen beyond those of ordinary people. Strange. There's no reaction. Zhu Musheng said that as long as you enter it with your intent and leave behind a spiritual imprint, the Stardust magic tool will transmit its nourishing energy to your body, relieving spiritual fatigue. Mo Fan tried several times but didn't feel the wonderful response Zhu Musheng had described. The loach pendant has overflowing energy. Shocked, Mo Fan hastily probed the loach pendant with his intent. As he did so, he felt as though he had landed in a hot spring. Silky warmth spread through him, slowly dispelling his exhaustion while clearing his spiritual world and making him feel tranquil and comfortable. He felt no agitation, no anxiety. His mind had never been so at ease before. Mo Fan had already cultivated for 10 hours that day. Normally, he would have gone to sleep. But now, with the loach pendant's warmth alleviating his fatigue, he felt like he could keep going a while longer. Oh crap, what is this? The Stardust magic tool from the school was useless. Instead, the loach pendant, which he had always worn, was producing the effect the Stardust magic tool should have had. Is it possible that this loach pendant is actually a Stardust magic tool? Mo Fan's heart began to race with excitement. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.